Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. We're back again, myself and of course Dean right in the house. Today we're talking Manchester United against Leicester, but not only that, the transfer deadline has just closed, pre-season has finished, the Premier League season is ahead. Now, I plan on, hopefully on the weekend, if Dean's available, I forgot to ask you about this actually, to just do a separate season preview video, because obviously we're going to mainly look at Man United and Leicester, but we will speak about the transfer window and the preparations for the season and how we're feeling ahead of the season. Are we confident? Are United going to win the league? Is it going to be 21 Man United? Is it? We're here to talk about that. Dean, first things first, how you doing, man?
Yeah, man, I'm good. It could probably be a bit better in it, or like if there's a bit more buzz. But the transfer window's kind of just fizzled out. It's a bit mad, to be honest, isn't it? Like the way it's kind of ended. But yeah, so I'm good. But like I say, just the mood around United could have probably changed a bit better today. But
it could have. But realistically, should we be relying on last-minute transfers? I don't think we really should be relying on it. And you've got to look at the preparations for the season. Do you think? Let's look at it two ways first. Do you think off the pitch, transfers, off the pitch, it's been a good pre-season?
From you have to go by what's being said, and Mourinho was saying himself he wanted more players, so no. If he's not happy and he's the man in control, I don't think we can look back and say it was a good summer. I think we've done some good business, but I think if he wanted more players, and just for me personally, I think we need more players if we want a challenge. We haven't done that. And obviously you kind of hear all these players we were supposed to be linked with, etc. Like I don't really believe a lot of them, but I don't know. Just it's a bit. It seems from the outside, it seems it's a bit disappointing, to be honest. But we've got some good business done, like I said.
You happy with the Fred signing?
Yeah. I think again, I've like a lot of people probably. I've seen him on YouTube or whatever. I've seen him play against City in Champions League. I thought he kind of bossed that game. To me, he's just technically really tidy. Looks like he can be a goal threat, add assists, and looks like he's got a bit of a munch on him as well in terms of biting a tackle. So
many yellow cards he's got. I think he played like 25 games in the league last season. That was mainly because it kind of how their season runs with the Champions League, and he had like 11 or 12 bookings. So it's like a booking every other game. I think in his first game for United, he may have got booked as well. He definitely was clattering some people though. But he does look like a player. Like there's a lot have been said about Paul Pogba and Jose Mourinho, and Mourinho publicly not really, admitting that he needs to do anything different with Paul Pogba, at least publicly. Yeah. But buying Fred kind of suggests privately he has seen that he does need to help Paul Pogba on the pitch a little bit, because Fred is likely to be starting a lot of games for Manchester United. Yeah. So that's a good sign, and I think Fred could definitely help us to get more out of Paul Pogba. I think the transfer window has 100% been disappointing. We were talking about it earlier, and I mentioned how every summer it seems Jose has not quite got what he wanted, and that's a big frustration, and it shows that the problems that United face at the moment aren't just Jose Mourinho's problems. And we were crying out for a centre-half. I don't think things are that bad though, because when I pointed that thing out to you, I didn't quite actually realise like Jose's signings could actually form a very good team. So we pointed out Bailly and Lindelof were signed by Jose Mourinho. Fred, Pogba and Matic were signed by Jose Mourinho. Sanchez and Lukaku were signed by Jose Mourinho. We also have the best goalkeeper in the world in David De Gea. So there is fullback, right wing, that he hasn't really signed any players in. And those are the areas, funnily enough, where he's been moaning about. I know we brought in Diogo Dalot, but we have to give him time. So on the face of things, the team should be kind of in his image by now. But you kind of get the feeling that it isn't.
Yeah, I think that's because individually some of those players, I don't think of, as much as they've got potential, I don't think they've hit the heights that probably he's expected. I think Bailly, for as class as he looked in his first season, has been too kind of with injuries. Lindelof, to me, doesn't look like a top class defender. People in the comments...
I disagree.
Well, a lot of people may
I think
disagree.
He's our second best defender.
But that kind of indicates to me how poor our level of defenders are. But for me, I don't know. He just doesn't look as like, he doesn't strike me as this defender. I think I want him in my team, whereas I think Bailly does. But again, he's been hit with injuries. I think Pogba, as highly as I rate him, I think he has been inconsistent. The most hardened of Pogba fans, I've got to say, he shows up in some games and he doesn't in others. Lukaku, I think he did well. I think he can do better. I think he will do better this season. I think people, with the doom and gloom that's kind of around, I think people are kind of forgetting that even though, for example, Kane won the Golden Ball at the World Cup, but Lukaku for me, performance-wise, was the best striker. It was the best striker in the World Cup for me. No, I don't know what anyone else thinks.
I agree with that.
And I think as a United fan, it's just like we're gonna have him coming back to us. So there's certain players even who've had good summers as well. So Lukaku potentially won't start, but I think looking forward to the season, I think there's a lot to be excited where he's concerned. Sanchez has had a good pre-season. Obviously, we dumped straight into the team when we signed him in January. Like, again, he maybe didn't hit the heights that a lot of us expect, but a lot of players you don't really move mid-season. So I think there is a lot to be, as much as, like I said, we've been a bit inactive, I think there's a lot to be positive moving forwards for me.
I think Lindelof's got a lot to bring to the club. I think I saw an improvement in him from the start of the season, particularly where he was dreadful, to the end of the season. You've seen a vast improvement in him. He seems to me to be one of our most confident defenders with the ball at his feet. Yeah. Aerially, he's very good. I think he's now... I know the mistakes against Huddersfield kind of make that sound stupid, innit? But I think aerially, he's very good. He showed that in the World Cup as well. And I think going forward, I think if Lindelof and Bailly have a good season, then United will possibly have a very good season. I think it's a lot rests on them because of the failures to sign a centre-half. But those are two of Jose's centre-halves. They've just got to stay fit because the options after them, I don't think are great at centre-half, personally. Yeah.
But again, I think there's that many games in the Premiership for me. Well, the Premiership and all the cup competitions, or Champions League, your League Cup and your FA Cup. There's a lot of games, so you're going to have to... All teams now, it's not just about your starting 11, you need to have a deep squad. And I just think it's inevitable, if we're keeping Smalling and Jones, these man you're alluding to, you're going to get games. You've not been sold, they're going to get games for Man United. But I think at certain teams, you can be like, they can keep certain players quiet, but I think you just need, in the top games, you need your top players available. And again, sometimes it's just look through injury, but hopefully this season, hopefully we get the rub of the green.
I think that's the big thing for us. We've had a lot of injuries in a lot of seasons, and if we can keep our players fit, I think we could be okay. But it's just a little bit worrying that there seems to be something going on with the board and Jose Mourinho at the moment. Or I could be being paranoid. Yeah. But Jose Mourinho doesn't... I think if Jose Mourinho's relationship with the board was good, I think he would appear to be a lot happier in press conferences. I think he's using those press conferences to send messages to the board. But that's not what we as fans want to hear. Like, do you know what I mean? That's why, like, there's a lot of complaints.
Sorry to cut you, but it's like, I want to know what's... I'm a fan, so it's like, I want to know what's going on.
Do you think the board then share the same ambition as our manager?
No. So Jose, well, from the outset, because really, like, although we haven't got the oil money that City have got, United have got a lot of money, and the commercial machine that they've got, they can guarantee a lot of money in the future. So it's like you can invest in it. And I think that Mourinho's next on the line. It's his reputation, and obviously he's going to be judged on winning. It doesn't matter how much shirt sponsors and sleeve sponsors and whatever sponsors we can get and pour money into the club. That's not how people will judge Mourinho's time at United, to buy trophies. So obviously, I think if he needs players, to me, if he doesn't come out and say like, yo, I do want another player, or want another two players actually, but we have to see. At least I'm not here like thinking, if he doesn't say that, I'm thinking, so you're telling me if he only thinks we need Fred, Dalot and Grant in goal, and you think that that's going to close the gap? You know what I'm saying? I'm disillusioned, because I'll be thinking like, maybe I would start to agree with like these people who don't like Jose if that was the truth. But again, he's saying I want more. They're not giving it to me. So at the same time, although my neck's on the line, I'm doing he's going to do the best he can, innit? He's going to do the best he can, and like obviously if that's what he's given to work with, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this thing is top down. People don't want to hear it. But
yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that opinion, that the board are restricting the manager. But when people say the manager could do more with what he has. I 100% agree with that as well. I don't think you should take your frustrations out on the board, on the players that you have. And I think a lot of the times, the negativity that he has with some of our players, he's brought on himself.
What negatives has he brought on recently? Like, what
he says about Martial in the press a lot of the time, Pogba as well.
Probably misquotes.
Like, although like, it's the way that you see it for yourself. Like, it
like
can't
the
be
way
so many misquotes. He constantly does it. It's like stripping players. Like, just cut. Like,
what if he doesn't know what's going on with him?
Sometimes you get
like it doesn't really like. I don't know. I think nowadays, obviously, like the society is a different thing, but everyone gets offended a little too easy, and it's just like,
Well, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah, but it's like, but I'm saying if he's got a problem with Martial, then whatever. But Martial, like your agent said you want to go, and we just said you ain't going, mate. So obviously, like as much as Mourinho dislikes you, mate, you got to work with, man.
So AS7 says, why do you think the board doesn't want to give more funds? Because he cannot get the best out of them, and they don't want to invest more. So then, should they just give up with the manager? If you're going to do that, you may as well just sack him. Do you know what I mean?
He got a new contract a couple months ago. What are you doing that for? Who are we getting to replace? This is the thing. Like people are talking like there's a ready-made replace. There's no one. There's not. In my opinion, there's not a better man than for the job than Jose for me.
But I think if the board fail to back him, he will crack and it will be disastrous for the club.
Yeah, I agree with that. But at the same time, your man Woodward already came out and said obviously like it doesn't really affect them as much on the pitch in terms of what they're doing commercially. But I think you have to.
And that's bad signs. I think that's where you've got to look at.
Just reality, isn't it?
No, but it's.
We haven't got this open check.
Manchester United are a different level of club. We are the richest club in the world. We make our own money, yet we don't invest it the same. From when the Glazers, like I said earlier, sold Ronaldo and bought Obertan, Valencia and Owen, it was clear where their priorities lied. But then we could rely on the genius of Fergie. Mourinho is not Fergie. Mourinho does things his way, and he's a little bit of a checkbook manager. He needs money to do what he wants to do. And I think, well, it's true. It's clear. It's clear. Why don't? It's clear that he does.
You want to challenge the reporter, you know what I mean?
But like I said earlier, I think he has to adjust now. This is a period in his career where he needs to adjust because back then with Porto, he was a younger manager. He was new to the game. He was hungry. He wanted to show everybody, I am the best. He could relate to these young players at Porto that were coming through. He could relate to Frank Lampard and Didier Drogba. He doesn't know how to relate to most of these players in our current squad.
I disagree. I think he's still a young guy, innit? And I think, me personally, as much as we want to point shine this bad light on Jose, I think he's got, for example, do that. Or like in terms of his skills wise, he's got the beating of Klopp, he's got the beating of Pochettino, he's got the beating of Unai Emery, he's got the beating of everyone. It's the only one you'd argue he's with Pep. You know what I'm saying? That's it, to me, and that's a tough game. And again, we beat last time we played them, we beat them. And I just think he's clearly the best man for the job. I think he's getting, like he came out recently saying how he gets bad press and he's taking a mick at where like Liverpool
I agree with what he said
today.
Concerned. He came out and said the media make it appear that the team that finished second got relegated, and the teams that finished below them but won no trophies were lauded. And I totally appreciate that, but that's because the expectations at Manchester United are different to that at Tottenham, at Liverpool, even at Manchester City, even at Chelsea. They expect Manchester United are up here so you have to accept that. When you become the Manchester United manager, you have to accept that, don't you? The expectations I think
you do, but you have to be, you know, you start being realistic in it. Like, I don't know, like to me, like I say, like it's like you look at like with regards to the team when he took over, I think that he does better with that the team that he took over than Pep does. I don't think Pep's playing the champagne football with the team that we had at the time. I think he's attracted a lot of players to the club who just was not even interested in United prior to him arriving. We've got some cups in the bag since he's been here, and obviously we're moving in the right direction. Last season, City had a worldie. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of their players played out their skin. Like Will Sterling, Sane, will you be as good this season? You know what I'm saying? Will De Bruyne have as good a season? You know what I'm saying? You weren't that hot in the World Cup. You know what I'm saying? So, and it gives again. This is why to me, I think it can be positive.
That's what the frustrating thing.
We've got Pogba coming off a World Cup win.
When you look at Pogba and De Bruyne, Pogba is as talented as De Bruyne. When you look at Sane and Sterling, like Martial and Rashford and Sanchez are as talented as those guys. When you look at Aguero, who is arguably the best striker in the Premier League, Lukaku can achieve those levels.
Yeah.
So we have the team to match them there. They wanted to sign Fred. Like, we've got a Matic, like, you know, we've got that experience, we've got Herrera. I think in defence, and especially at fullback, the Trump will see you like piece of piss.
When you can
but that's what happens
drop
when you spend 100 mil.
That's what I'm saying. So
And
you can get.
that's where you see like the board hasn't really backed Mourinho. That's why I don't think the problem solely lie with the manager at the moment. But like I suggested earlier, I do think he causes some problems for himself.
Yeah, I agree with that. Another point I'd just like to make is as well, to be fair, like if you look at the other top teams, I take Liverpool out of the equation, a lot of the other top teams haven't really been investing that much. You know what I mean? Like City bought Mahrez, like Chelsea have bought a keeper only because they said they had to get rid of Courtois.
Spurs were the first side in the Premier League since I think 2003 or 2005 to have not signed a player in the Premier League summer transfer window.
That's what I'm saying. They moved to a new stadium. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are they, like? Are we saying now they're looking to get relegated? What's the crack? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Are
like,
their expectations to win a domestic cup?
Well, top four is
it's not to
like
win a
top
league.
four, innit? They have to get top four, really. Man, that's their business. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. So I think as well, like, I don't know if it's with the money or because I think last season's when they got a lot of their payments, and I know that a lot of the times when people spend big money is literally when, you know, the TV money just drops and that, like coming like student loan and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, like they're getting that and they're just blowing it. But like I say, I don't think we've been a bit inactive, but so have other teams for me a bit.
I think Liverpool have had a decent window on paper. In what they've brought in, Keita, Fabinho, Alisson in goals, huge improvement on what they had. I think they've had a decent window. Obviously, looking further down the table, Shaqiri as well. He's a good squad player for any top 4 team. I think.
Yeah, decent player.
Possibly, I know United got linked to him. I wasn't keen on it, but I thought as a right winger that's not probably going to expect to start every game. Kind of makes sense. Like
he's a luxury player though. He's Shaqiri, I think. I think he's good, but he's a bit luxury for me. I think as much as they've signed, like that Keita looks a decent player. Obviously, Alisson, you anticipate. Obviously, he's got to be. Well, to be fair to him, Ederson for me is a good goalkeeper at City, and Alisson's Brazil's number 1. You get me? So obviously, he must be good. I haven't seen too much of him.
He did. He got. I know that he conceded a lot of goals against Liverpool for Roma, but I think he was a good. He was decent in Serie A.
He's got to be better than Karius. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
I just always feel a little bit wary with Brazilian goalkeepers for some reason. Like they've always got a mistake in them. You know what I mean?
But like these new ones, Ederson, he's a machine. You get me? Like, but for me as well, like I said, I've made some good signs. But the last Emre Can, for me, I don't know if Keita and that's gonna hit the ground running, but Emre Can was a good player, man. Like, and I think you lost a decent player there. You know what I'm saying? So. But that's what I'm saying. If you take like Fabinho, you could argue he's the replacement for him, and then Liverpool.
Yeah, but there, I think wow, maybe not. But I think they're potentially building a side where they're not playing Henderson, which would be huge for them.
But again, like their board over there, like it's like they're half going for it. You know, them ones they're half like obviously they're reinvesting money. The reinvest that Coutinho money is gone. Anyone else trying to say any players they're signing as with the Coutinho money, that money is done. But like. They're pumping the money back into transfers, and so it's like their board, their owners are off going for it, whereas ours are a lot more conservative, to say the least.
Yeah, bunch of wankers and glazers. What I don't get though, before we move on to the actual Leicester game, is people that just criticise the Glazers when they don't get what transfers they want. Like you should be constantly criticising them 24/7, 365, not just. But you don't get what you want. You get me. Anyway, moving on. Off from that, we got to focus on what we've got, and we've got to get behind the boys now. This is what Jose needs to do. This is what we need to do. Manchester United against Leicester. The Premier League is fucking back, baby. How good is that? It's exciting time, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone feels depressed out here, but like
it's too soon. You get me? Like for me, it's a bit too. Like it should have been next week or something. Like it's on a Friday. Like even
you're going to the game tomorrow. You excited?
Yeah. No, I'm still like I think like I said, it's going to be interesting because obviously a lot of players have been off with the World Cup. So it gives players like Matter, I think, will start. You know what I'm saying? I don't think if it's not World Cup year, I don't think he starts now. You know, if it's a longer pre-season, but gives chance for him to play. Actually, it'd be good to see some football in it. Like,
I'll give you the team news, guys. Players that aren't playing tomorrow: Matic, Valencia, possibly Herrera, Diego Dalot, Rojo, and Romero. That's a lot of O's. Felt like a Marian then. And those that aren't match fit, but Jose said he will ask them if they're available: Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Young, Lukaku, Fellaini. Now, just saying those names, they all seem like players to me that, as long as they're not injured, carrying niggles, they will say, boss, I'm available. Fellaini, you'd think. Lukaku, Young.
Yeah.
Young's on it.
Yeah.
Young will play yesterday. You know what I mean? Lingard, he's running now. And Pogba, he's going to chuck a dab out somewhere. And especially coming off a World Cup win.
Them men are young as well, innit? So,
excuse the pun. Young's the oldest on that list.
But he's like a, I don't even know, man. He's like wine. Just
it's about 40, isn't it?
Madness.
36, something like that. So yeah, Leicester City coming up. I think it's a good game to start with because it's at home. It's not against like an opposition that you'd say we're 100% beating them. So it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good start to the season to have this kind of game. Friday night, we open the league campaign. Jose's probably not happy with it being Friday. He probably wanted it later, but like I'm excited by that. What are you expecting from this match?
To be honest, personally, I'm not expecting that much from the Premiership for the first 6 weeks. To be honest, because of the way the World Cup works, I just think that with a lot of players only coming back to pre-season, your better players are only going to be like, obviously they're not match fit now, and I think it's going to take them a couple of weeks to find their feet, and then they'll start playing well. So now I think I'm not anticipating to see a great spectacle tomorrow. To be honest, to be honest, I think it could be end to end because it's early in the season, because the team we haven't had time to gel together. It's Leicester. A lot of their players haven't gone to the World Cup, so a lot of their players would have been back in pre-season ages ago and like being able to work on new ways of playing, etc. So I think it's gonna be tough, man. But I think
Jose has alluded to that. He said that like, how can you expect me to change the game when change the way we're playing when I haven't had my players?
Yeah.
Totally appreciate that. And I agree it will take some time to get us going. But nevertheless, I do hope we get off to a good start. Some players could carry us through it on pure adrenaline, like Pogba and them man there.
Yeah.
And when you think about the team that we could start, I'd go with David De Gea in goal. I think Darmian's going to be our right back. Timothy Fosu-Mensah has just completed a loan move to Fulham, which I think is similar to Pereira's loan move last season. Like Pereira could have stayed and started some games for us, but the loan move in the long term is probably better for him. And hopefully Fosu can come back next season actually ready then to say, yo, this is my spot. And I think Fulham's a kind of good playing with Ryan Sessegnon and them, man.
Exciting prospects.
Tom Kane.
Again, they've splashed some cash.
Yo, they are balling.
Mitrovic 20 mil or quick.
But they bought about 6 players today.
That's what I'm saying. So I think
balling with no budget. They are.
That's what I'm saying. Like obviously Wolves on our next mad thing, but I think like personally, I think it's like I was saying about Pereira before. I think like him going on loan, I think he's kind of come back now where he's got that kind of swagger where he kind of knows his, like, you know what I'm saying, I've kind of done it in a decent league, so I know I can do it here. And I think Fosu-Mensah could kind of do the same thing where if he goes away and that's a good season away, he can kind of come back and like, you know, yo, that right back, that's my place, or I'm going to fill in centre back, or I'm going to drop in the DM. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think obviously he's not...
DM.
But yeah, man, like I think obviously hopefully be good for him. If he's not gonna start, there's no point just wasting man on the bench, and like,
yeah, it is true.
Get man out.
So continue with the team: Darmian, Bailey, Lindelof. You happy with that? Well, last couple of games, Smalling and Jones haven't played anything.
But Smalling's been there since the start of pre-season. So to me, it'd kind of be baffling if he didn't start. To be honest,
but then he got injured.
Easy available. If he's available,
missed games, and then he didn't start the last one. I hope he don't start. Bailey and Lindelof for me at centre half. Yeah. Or you want Smalling to start? No,
I'm just saying. I'm not, like I want the best team that wins. I want to pick the team that wins on it. But it's like
let me be fair.
It wouldn't surprise if he starts. To be honest, I'll tell you.
Like you said earlier, he probably does have his uses against some opposition. I just would like to not see it too much. on left back Luke Shaw. Had a full pre-season.
You'd hope so, but it's like I follow.
Glass is playing there. Imagine you just pulled Ashley Young down.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I follow Ashley Young, and I'm sure he threw up a picture today about like a picture saying obviously like this whatever about the league, and I'm thinking, bro, do you know you're starting or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because even this will be Morgan, man. If he starts Young over Shaw, Morgan, man. Or like you just like
Shaw may as well allow it from there. Just go home.
I don't know. Like you can't let my man have a full pre-season and not, like, to me, I think if you've been in, that's why to me it's like Smalling will probably start. I think if you've been there since the start of pre-season, you probably need to start, man, because you're most prepared in it. But what you know what I'm saying? It's one of them, man. But yeah, who's the rest of your team?
That was the defense we just did. Yeah. Then the midfield, Andres Pereira. It's gonna be Fred. And I think Herrera's injured, so I'm hoping he squeezes Pogba out to start, but it's probably going to be McTominay.
I would be surprised if he started Fred, to be honest.
Nah, he kind of has to.
I think he would like to, but I just think it's hard to just
if Herrera is injured and Matic is injured.
Yeah, I know. But I think you could put like Paul Mata back, you know, because I think Mata starts, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be Mata, Sanchez, and Rashford or Marshall. Because Rashford or Marshall have had some in the last game when Rashford had his first start. Marshall did 2 training sessions at Old Trafford at Carrington, and that's after having some pre-season, so he could potentially start. You know what would have been good for United? They may have done it like a behind closed door friendly this week. You know, for like the players that have just come back and whatnot, but. I
think some of them things again that could happen, and
easily.
They got enough top quality talent there to put on a decent game.
Russell says, "Adam smile. Tony is still here. Guess his missus passed your message on." That was after Wembley. Remember when William walked past us?
Yeah.
And then his missus walked past, and I told him to make Tony stay, unless like he joins the next club, a European club, between now and the end of their window, but I doubt United aren't going to sell him without being able to bring in a replacement. That's just stupid, isn't it? So yeah, buzzing with the news that Tony Marshall's still about. Let's hope he can have a good season now, and that's down to both. Not only it's just like with Pogba, it's down to them and the manager, not just the manager, on getting the best out of them. They have to perform when they're selected, and we need a team now that's just all pulling in the right direction. We don't need no issues, no headache, no spats, and let's just focus on trying to fucking win the league, man. It's been too long without us winning this league, you get me? The last time we went 2012-13. It's going to be 2018-19, so that means it's going to be 6 seasons without winning the league if we don't win it this season.
Even for me, it's just not trying to have a defeatist attitude, but even just to challenge for the league, you know, like even to be just
last season we didn't,
about it. You know what I'm saying? No one was in it.
If in March, April, I'm saying, United could win the league, I'm buzzing.
Yeah, we need to be involved. That's what I'm saying. We need to just. Me personally, I want to be involved in. You know what I'm saying? Like
I miss that feel, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, going to games and thinking, shit, we can't lose this one. You know, one of them ones. Not thinking, I think we can't lose this one because you don't. You know, it's fucking the last. You lost the last one too.
Yeah. The only one other thing I want to say, obviously, we're going the game and it's a hope that, like, obviously there is a kind of link between the fans and the players, and it's like I hope that, like, there's a good atmosphere tomorrow, and I hope that, you know, like, I hope that everyone comes out to just back the team and like forget what has happened, and at the same time it's like we need to support. Well, I support Man United, so it's like I support the team, and it's so
regardless of who's playing.
That's what I'm saying. So we want to win. We want to make it as difficult for Leicester as possible. So
that sounded very like David Moyes, you know. Remember when he said that before the Newcastle game? Oh shit!
Like,
what has these last 6 years done to us? Oh no!
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, we need.
Oh god, dude, you just said it. Make it difficult for Leicester.
You know what I'm saying? We need to do it for because the thing is, it's like we only certain times you go to Old Trafford, the atmosphere
that's dead.
You know what I'm saying? Dead, and it's like we only do it for the top. Man's get up for like Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and it's like Spurs. You know what I'm saying? And it's like there is only 3 points on the line. You know, as much as there's bragging rights and whatever, there's only 3 points. So the same 3 points that we're gonna have against City, whenever that is at home, it's the same 3 points as available tomorrow, and it's like we need to, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, people need to see it that way, and like we need to back the team. If we win every game this season, obviously we ain't gonna do it, but it's like if we win,
we're gonna win the league.
You know what I'm saying? You have to.
Everyone starts on 0 points. Everyone starts on 0 points. I want the fans to be on it tomorrow. We have to be on it. Like, even if it's delusion, like, you have to believe. Like, it's the start of the season. We're Man United. We got some very, very talented players. When you just look at it there, David De Gea, if he has an amazing season. Smalling, Bailey, Lindelof. Bailey and Lindelof, if they have an amazing season. Valencia, we know what he can do at right back. You never know. Luke Shaw at left back, if he finds himself. Pogba, Matic, Fred, Herrera, Pereira, like a new signing. If they do the bits, then you got up top Lukaku, one of the best strikers in the Premier League. Martial and Rashford, two of the best youngsters out there. Mata, Sanchez, two of the most experienced, most talented players about. We could do something. Yeah, it's got to click.
It gives up, like he's saying, it's like giving opportunity to people now. Like Pereira and that, like we ain't signing another midfielder, so it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be, like I said, for me, he probably starts tomorrow. So
it has to start tomorrow.
If you have a good game, you start in the next. The way Mourinho works, anyway, you'll play next game. You get me? So I just hope, like I said, I hope everyone's up for it, and it like
let's moan after we fucked it up, not before nothing's happened. Do you know what I mean? If you're gonna moan after the fact, let's not moan before the fact. Let's not moan in anticipation of being shit. Let's hope that we're amazing, and moan if it is awful.
If there's only one game in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't lose our.
No, I mean in general. I don't mean in one game. Yeah. I mean like everyone's moaning now.
Oh yeah.
But like nothing's happened yet. Yeah. Really, truly, you know what I mean?
For me, as long as you don't transfer that to the players and like we're not vexing the game, like because Man just needs to win the game really tomorrow. Like
we're winning the league. 21's coming. Dean agrees.
I don't know, man. Like I think again, like you said, you have to start quickly in it. Like this, you're gonna have to like City have shown from last season. You need to tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. The 3 points are massive. Like you can't. Every game is massive, so you know what I'm saying. There is no times where like you can afford to lose games. In this game, like in this season, you can probably afford to lose.
It's not back in the day in '98 in them times, isn't it? When you could lose 6 games in a season.
Nah, like
now you lose. If you lose more than 2, you're not winning the league. Probably. It's a madness, that isn't it?
Something I'm saying. But the bar's been set high. You get me? So hopefully, I just hope we keep. Hopefully, we keep a clean sheet and we get some goals. But personally, it's gonna be end to end, man.
What's score prediction for tomorrow?
I want 2-1 United.
2-1.
Hopefully it's 2-0 or something, but I just don't think you can. I don't think you can nail in like get defense working proper slick at this point in the season. I think they'll just score. I think we'll have more than them. I do rate Iheanacho, but if they ain't got Vardy, they got no Mahrez. Obviously, they're still a decent team, but I think they're signed a left winger or something. But I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not massively sold on Leicester, to be honest. But I think we should have too much for them at home, to be honest.
Right. Well, I'm leaving my negativity behind for now, and we're getting giddy for the season because United are going to win the league. This is the year it comes back home. I think we're going to win 2-0 tomorrow. Repeat of the score last season. We won 2-0 as well. We opened last season with a 4-0 win. 4-0 FC, says Russell. Dia thinks 2-1. Agrees with you. Nimesh says 4-0. Marcia says if we can keep injury free, we have a chance. That's true. Dean, do you think Sanchez will get 20 plus goals this season? Tahir's just asking you questions now.
Yeah. I think he will, you know.
I think this is the thing. Like,
this is like as much like I don't want to be one of these people like I told you so. Like if Sanchez turned out sick, because everyone was getting on his back, but I've got very high hopes for Sanchez this season, to be honest. And I think that like that's why it's like as much as we haven't signed people, I think if we just get the best out of what we've got, like with Sanchez as well. Like,
come on, Jose, man. Fucking let's do this.
It's like, come on, Alexis, you get me? You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on.
It's not like them man on the pitch and them man can do it. Like, you don't, as much as Mourinho can tell you certain things, you're on the pitch and you can, you know what I'm saying? You do what you're wanting it. But
Jay says, is just liked and subscribed. Thank you very much, Jay. Robbie says 4-0 FC. Andrew says 0-0. Vishnu says 3-0. 2 goals to United, says Marooks. Adam, there are no transfers. What are your thoughts on Brexit? Says Ahmed. Brexit means Brexit, mate. Whatever that means. Still ain't figured it out. Sanchez could be a spark this season. Very true. Heart says United win, but my head's telling me United won, Leicester 2. Leicester have had as bad a pre-season as us. We've both only won one game in pre-season. Not that that means anything, but just saying. United 3, Leicester City 1. Sanchez, Matic is injured, so that's not happening. Lukaku and Vardy's out, so that's not happening either. So it'll probably be 2-0. MU Blaze.
That's a 3-3.
3-3, that'd be a game and a half, wouldn't it? Stop putting down United fans. Let's come together, boys, says Mr. Johnson. And am I doing fantasy football? I'm doing the 12th man one with the guys at Football Daily. So just get involved in that one. I never have the consistency with that. Anyway, guys, this has been the preview of Manchester United against Leicester City. Premier League football is back. 21 is coming home. And of course, I think United are going to beat Leicester City as well. Before we go, Dean, have you got anything to add?
You know, to support the team tomorrow, you get me.
Yeah, 100%.
Subscribe to the team, you get me.
Subscribe to Straight Up. Subscribe to Adam McKola TV. We're going to do another podcast this week when we do the debate as well. Dean will be in the match day vlog, probably in the reaction stream as well tomorrow. And for now, guys, we've been. I was going to say, we've been straight up, innit?
Keeping it straight.
We're out here.